Welcome back to another episode of the Cape CopCast, Chief's Chat Edition. I'm one of your hosts and one of your public affairs officers, Lisa Greenberg.
I'm Stephen Klakowitz.
We have the Chief with us today. We are excited to have another Chief's Chat. We took a week off.
Yep.
We've been busy with a lot of different things going on, so we wanted to make sure that we got in here today to chat. We're going to be talking about a lot of positive news.
Yeah. Well, first and foremost, it was election week,
Yep.
or primary election week. And I don't know if anybody's gotten any mailers or texts.
Oh, just a few thousand text messages.
Wow.
That's been crazy.
I don't know. I find that to be the most ineffective way because it turns people off. At least it does me.
100%. You know what I do with those immediately?
Delete and report to spam.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm like, is anyone not doing that?
Does it work? I don't know.
I think it's an easy way to just get out to the masses and, one click and you can send 10,000 and you get in front of 10,000 people, but maybe
I can't imagine being undecided and then a text message puts me over the top.
Sure.
It's goofy. But on a positive note for primary day is what people remember from Tuesday is voting and results. They don't remember a critical incident. They don't remember problems. There's always a little bit of drama at the polls, but that's our American system. That's not a Cape Coral specific thing. But outside of the normal passion,
Right?
no problems, which is good. That's what we want. So I get asked a lot by members in the community about, my opinions on the election, primarily local and then state and federal. And I always give the same response that it's really none of your business.
Right.
My mom taught me that many, many years ago when I was a kid. She brought me to the polls just before early voting, before mail-in ballot. You had to wait in line. And I remember being small enough that I was holding her hand like upward. And I asked, who did you vote for? I mean, I live with this woman. And she said, that's private. And you're not supposed to talk about that stuff. And that stuck with me. Not many people like me anymore. It's almost
Not at all.
like a litmus test for your friendship or anything like that. But you'll never know that with me, who it is. And professionally, I mean this in the most respectful, positive way, not a smart aleck way to answer it, but I don't care.
Right.
Right. And that's on purpose. And I think you as a viewer at home, you would appreciate that I don't professionally, or our agency does not professionally lean any certain way. Whoever's in charge, I've been a chief, I've been a police officer through Republican administrations nationally, Democrat administrations, back and forth. There's different nuances to each that will trickle down and impact everybody's life. But as far as doing this job, it doesn't matter. I don't care. We're going to go do the job to the best of our ability, no matter what the conditions are or who's in charge. Same with the state. We've had Democrat, Republican, been Republican for a long time at the governor's mansion, but been around long enough that we had it the other way. It doesn't matter for what we do. Our mission doesn't change. We're still striving to be the best, to partner with our community and be the best service that we can provide. And then locally, I've had a lot of different council people, mayors, city managers over my career, and even in my tenure as a chief. And congratulations, and I'm proud of everybody who's stepped forward to take a shot and do what they thought was their part to make the community better. Legitimate, sincere hats off to you, and double congrats to those who moved on to the general. But professionally, it doesn't matter, right? Best of luck to whoever gets it, whoever does get it. In any of these races, we're going to work with you. We're going to have that professional relationship. You're going to be part of our team. There's just no other option.
Yeah.
Right.
So they represent the entire populace of the city, and they are supposed to be representative of that populace and their decisions and their vision. And I'm pretty confident that the public would want the people representing them to have a good relationship with the police department, and we're going to do our part. We always do. And so in a sincere, professional way, it don't matter.
It don't matter because we got a job to do. You have a job to do. Right. Every single person in this department has a job to do. That doesn't change.
Correct.
Yeah.
No matter who's at the top. So
and anybody running and anybody that's successful, Their motives are to make this place better or to make this a vibrant, awesome, safe community. Well, that jives with me, and that jives with everybody that works here. So it's already going in the right direction. The other thing that I have been asked about, or you see a ton of press on, is the ballot initiative, Amendment 3, which is the enhancement or increase in exemption for homestead.
Yeah.
Same answer as before. I'm a resident, a taxpayer, a citizen, a person, and that's about as personal as I get with the way I vote on stuff. You'll never know. It doesn't matter. Nobody cares, right? I have the same power that you have or that you have. So go exercise your right to vote professionally. It doesn't matter, right?
Right.
If that's the will of the people, then we're going to adjust. That's what we've always done. I was telling a story to somebody that in the 30 years that I've been doing this, there was a time when a misdemeanor battery was not an exception. And we can talk about what that means, but you weren't, if you didn't witness it, you had to send it over to the prosecutor's office to review and issue a summons.
Yeah.
That's changed. But if you look at the very beginning of my career, misdemeanor battery was not an exception. All the way up to now, you can open carry firearms on the street. So that's a huge amount of change. This is just another variable.
Right.
Right? No matter what happens, we are the constant. And the constant is doing everything that we're supposed to do. You need help, we're going to help. We're going to investigate. We're going to partner with you. We're going to be the police department. The variables are all the different things that happen. If you go to chase the variable, you get off course. You stay on the constant. And that's what we're going to do. I'm actually prohibited from talking about it one way or the other by law. It is a misdemeanor for me as a non-elected official. I am a police chief, but I'm a municipal police chief, non-elected. It is actually a second-degree misdemeanor for me to talk positively or negatively about it. And I wouldn't do that anyway because it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
We're going to continue to do what we do. My responsibility, no matter what happens, is the serious rubber meets the road police stuff. We're going to have enough people to go do that. It's naive to think that no matter in life, not even Amendment 3, just in life, any action is going to have a consequence. Not saying it's good, not saying it's bad, but there's nothing that you can do as an individual or as a group. If you take an action, there will be a result. There will be a consequence. So we don't know what those will be. We'll be fine.
Roll with the punches.
Yeah. That's it. So go do your thing, vote your conscience. I would ask you to just research it. That's anything. Research any ballot initiative, research any politician's platform, be an informed voter. And once you've locked in, don't be swayed by text messages or mailers, right? Make your decision, be informed, go in there and vote. And our responsibility when it comes to voting is to make sure that you're safe at the poll.
And we had a good outcome on this week, and we're going to continue to do that. So
that's it.
Yep.
Absolutely. All right. Now that we got that out of the way, I thought it would be interesting, and we kind of always have a little pre-show conversation about things we want to mention, and this was a really good idea to talk about awards, because we post on social media all the time pictures of our officers or our civilians, communications staff, whoever it may be, getting an award. There are so many different types of awards that we do, and there's kind of a process when it comes to that I think it'd be cool to kind of let people behind the curtain on that, especially because this month we do like a little monthly awards presentation. We have so many.
We got a lot.
We have and they're high level awards,
big time,
life-saving awards, things of that nature. So,
let's talk about what the process is not.
Yes.
Right? It's not me.
Nope.
In the ivory tower, looking down, going, award that, award that, award that. It doesn't work that way. These are peer-driven and frontline, immediate supervisory-driven awards. And the best kind of awards are the ones that I'm not on the street with the guys and girls. They go out and do the work, and the supervisors who are with them, or even better, their peers, their coworkers, see something and they want to recognize it. That's a good culture. It's a bit of a a culture shift we had to do. That's a non-natural act, especially for police.
Yeah.
Right? You go out and just do the job. That's your job. You saved a bus full of nuns on fire. Well, yeah, that's your job. If you didn't do it, you showed up to that and you just watched it and didn't help them, you'd be fired, right? So, no, when you do extraordinary things or you see extraordinary things in particular, it's a culture here to recognize it because good news begets good news, and you want to positively reinforce.
Definitely.
So it's really exciting because what we do is those nominations wind their way up and they go to you guys, the public affairs team. And then we workshop them and you come in and it's a good day. Hey, I got a stack and let's talk about what it is. And we hear the good stories and, we make the final decision. But it's most of these, by the time they make it up, there's not a no in the pile.
Oh, yeah. Most of them, they do end up getting approved and you get to read what they're about. And it's just so interesting. I have one in particular I want to shout out because I'm pretty sure that someone this month who received 2 life-saving awards is now in their 4th total life-saving award.
Wow.
Yeah.
And that's Jarrett Bridges.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
he deserves a shout out. So yeah, he's been all over social media. One of them, I think he was with you when he lifted a car off of somebody.
Yeah. Him and I got that life-saving award together.
Yeah. So he has that one. He had one before that. He has 2 this month. So, I mean,
guys out there, and when you put yourself out there and things happen, which we've talked about that here, things happen here. And when you're out there and you're looking and you're aggressive and really trying to make a difference, it's going to come to you. And when it does, what do you do with it?
Yeah.
Right? It's when preparation meets opportunity. You've heard that phrase before. Oh, he's lucky that he's got all these awards. He's not lucky.
he worked for
He's
it.
prepared and he has opportunity. So you can have all the opportunity in the world, but if you're not prepared to do anything, you're not going to get it. And the opposite is true. You could be as prepared as you're going to be, but if you don't put yourself out there in the action, you're not going to have the chance. But when preparation and opportunity come together, a lot of great things happen. Take a second and talk about how we award these things. You mentioned we have a social media presence. That's when they come up to the chief suite and we celebrate them. Many, many years ago, when I first started, Arnold Gibbs was the chief. And the big awards, right? So there's 2 levels. And when we talk about the big ones, that's life-saving, Medal of Honor, Medal of Valor, meritorious service, Purple Heart. Those are the big ones.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other ones are not small by any means, but they're not that. So you have commendations and a little bit more than an attaboy or an attagirl, but good work. So the upper level ones, Arnold Gibbs would call you in to his office. And that's still a big deal when you get summoned to the chief's office.
Oh, yeah.
Now I look at it and go, really? I don't think it's a big deal. I'm in there every day.
Yeah.
But when you're, line level or operational down on the street, it's a big deal to get called in because it's not a place that you normally would interact with.
Right.
So it had some gravitas would be the word. And we would come in and we would meet the chief, and he was very command presence and old school. And it was the thing. And we, over the years, got away from that. And we used to do the Do the Right Thing Awards as a ceremony at city council chambers. And it was before a city council meeting. So we would do fire department awards, police department awards, then the Do the Right Thing ceremony, that kind of thing. And it was in council chambers. And when we were talking about politics before, there was a time in this city where there was a majority of city council who were not the biggest fans of city employees in general. And we couldn't get guys to go. They're like, I don't want to be a part of that, that kind of treatment. I understood it. And we couldn't get the participation. Like, what's going on? How come guys aren't going? Because we're not welcome there. And that was a pretty odd time. So we started doing our own thing, and let's do a real award ceremony, right? Dress uniforms and bring your spouses and children, and we did it at Cape Christian Church.
Oh, nice.
It was really nice. Try to get cops to go to a formal thing to recognize themselves.
Yeah.
That was harder to get people to go. And then you're doing it once a year. And if you want to encapsulate all the work in a year, you got to do it at the end of the year. You think it's hard to get cops together and do something like that in regular time? Try doing it in December when there's school plays and church functions and holiday travel, and it's tough. So then you wait until January, and now you're recognizing things that are 13 months old. And
Right.
It just didn't work. So we did something a little bit more casual. Same thing, a little bit tough. So when COVID happened, we had to stop all of that stuff, just big gatherings like that. But when that's when I took over as the chief, was in 2020. So it was during all of that, masking up, distancing, the whole thing. When we started to get back to normal, let's find a way to change the way we're doing these awards. And I said, I got an idea. Let's go back to the way we did it when Arnold was here. I liked it. I thought it was a pretty cool thing. So we did that. And then every time they would come in, we would invite, do a calendar invite, come in, you're getting an award, come to the chief's office, but bring your family if you'd like. Bring your kids, bring your spouse. Let them see what you're probably not going to tell them. Unless you're a crazy person, you're not going to go home and say, listen how great I am.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I do that. I tell the family, this is what your loved one has done for us and how important they are and how special they are. And it's really a nice, intimate, personal ceremony.
Yeah.
So we do them for the month like that. So there could be 1, there could be 5, different stories. There could be 2 people like you and Bridges with the car. The 2 of you would come in. If it was him solo, or we have 4 or 5 different events where people get recognized. And it's really kind of fit our culture, right? We're not a big look at me ceremony type group of people, which is commendable. There are other departments that do that, and they're really nice. I mean, I've been to some of those ceremonies. They're really cool, but we're not going to be something that we're not. We're going to do what we do, and it works. And I'm proud of that we've found our own identity and culture. So we had a handful this month, and they're pretty good. So we figured we'd talk about them.
Yeah.
Give them a little shine.
Yeah, definitely. I think there are 4 different instances of life-saving awards that each one pretty much involves multiple people who work together to save someone's life. We had one that was a drug overdose. We had a couple that were unfortunately attempted suicides, in which our officers were able to intervene and stop that from happening, save someone's life. There was one that was a 10-month-old baby.
That one I want to talk about, but the suicide ones, these aren't, you found a note, you went there and you talked to them before, which is important. They were downstream in the act. They were severely injured, gravely injured, almost successful, if that's a word that we would use. And we were able to do life-saving measures and bring them back. Over the years, I've seen that happen. I've been a part of one of those. And those people are obviously in crisis, and I've had it happen on more than one occasion where we have been contacted by that person or that person's family that they've gotten help, and they were so grateful that they were not successful in that. So those are very, very lifelong impacting events.
Yeah.
And kudos to them. So that's why we recognize them for that.
Definitely. And
one of them is the Police Tactical De-Escalation Award.
Mm-hmm.
Which was one of those situations where somebody was injuring themselves and there was the possibility that they could have injured someone else or one of the officers. And these officers made a plan. They took the right steps. They were able to intervene and get this person help before he hurt himself any further or hurt anybody else that was around. So, and I'm really glad that we recognize that.
You mentioned it, Tactical De-Escalation Award. That's a newer award for us, but I think it's so important. You have a terrible phenomenon that happens called suicide by cop, where people are looking to take their own lives, but they will, for those of you who don't know, they will summon the police either with a fake emergency or a legitimate emergency to get the police there, and then do actions or try to entice the police officers to be in a deadly force encounter. And it's not what people think where we're looking to go there and do that or help them with that. We actually go the complete opposite way and tactically de-escalate that situation, and we award that. when you have an officer involved shooting, absent really, really different circumstances interrupting an active shooter incident or something like that, we don't award that. That is not something that we celebrate.
Right.
But we do celebrate avoiding that. And that's something that's newer in the profession that I'm extremely proud that we do, the Tactical De-Escalation Award, which is recognizing taking that down and saving somebody. So it's an awesome award. That's a big one to get.
Definitely.
And that was one of those that was recommended by another fellow officer. It wasn't a supervisor that saw it. It was just another person on the ground that was there and witnessed it and recognized that these guys took these extra steps to help this person and took the right steps, and where it turned out successful.
Yeah.
So that's really cool. Yeah, I was awarded with that a couple years ago as well. Yeah. So it's I'm proud of that one.
Sure. 100%. That is what 21st century policing is about, right?
Yeah.
And not soft. It's not going the other direction. I mean, we're still ready for whatever is going to come our way. And unfortunately, sometimes it would be the other alternative. But when there's an opportunity to really train and execute that training and work and have a different resolution, that's what it's all about.
Yeah, it's about being ready for that worst case scenario, but doing everything in your power based off your training to not have to go there.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
So what about this 10-month-old?
Yeah, this was a 10-month-old who had nearly drowned.
Yeah, I think I don't know if somebody wasn't paying attention. Maybe the baby got somewhere and I think had fallen in a pool. So they called us and our officers got there and were able to start those life-saving measures until EMS showed up, and then they continued those with EMS and were able to get this baby help that she needed.
Yep.
And good resolution on that one.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And those are the ones, I mean, any of these situations are obviously awful, but when they're kids and babies,
It's tough. But to have a successful rescue like that, and shout out to EMS as well, that's what it's all about. And even with a successful end, that's a traumatic event. That's very tough. So we follow up on the back end to make sure that our officers have the ability to decompress, debrief, talk to somebody, and sometimes it doesn't appear immediate, and you can carry it. And then whenever that happens, you have an avenue. That's a new thing for us too. Is not making you feel inadequate or afraid to do that. That we encourage that. So that's great. A lot of good stuff.
It's exciting, and those will be popping up on social media over the next few weeks. You'll see all the hard work of the men and women in our department who got those awards. And it took us pretty much the whole day yesterday to put those awards together.
Just going to say shout out to you guys, because that doesn't just happen, right? We don't have the award fairy show up. There's a system and there's hard work that goes into doing that, and it's very worth it. So
Definitely.
Thank you for doing that.
Thanks.
We're happy to do it because
Absolutely.
Getting that recognition, I know just from getting it is I like that feeling, and
sure,
I know everybody else appreciates it still.
Yeah,
awesome. All right, anything else, Chief?
No, that's a wide wide array.
We covered the gamut, that's for sure.
We sure did.
All righty, well, thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you next time.
Thanks. Thank you for listening to the Cape CopCast, where we dive into the heart of the Cape Coral Police Department's safety initiatives, community relations, and the insightful stories of different officers that make up our department.
Please like and share our podcast. If you have any feedback, you can email capepdpao@capecoral.gov. And remember to follow us on social media. Our handle is @CapePD on all major platforms.
Stay safe, stay Cape.